Hey everyone, it's Kelsey. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to this weekly vlog. I am definitely not ready. I'm still in my pajamas, but I wanted to get this weekly vlog started because I have like a lot of updates, I feel like, because I feel like I haven't vlogged in a hot second. Are like so chapped. This winter has been so dry for some reason, like, and I thought the groundhog said it was spring coming and it's still like 33 degrees out and snowing. Like, I'm ready for spring. I'm ready to be able to sit outside like and read. Like, come on, ready for spring now. I love all the seasons, but I do, by the end of whatever season I'm on, I'm like ready for the next season to begin. But I do love the like turning of the seasons. I just feel like it's such a magical time. I don't know, the world feels magical to me. I just love it. I'm a New England girly, what can I say? But so I finished Lady Midnight. If you watched my snow day vlog, I started that. That is the first one in the Dark Artifices trilogy by Cassandra Clare, which is part of the Shadowhunters world, also by Cassandra Clare. You're probably familiar with that. That's the Mortal Instruments series. They had the show Shadowhunters based on the Mortal Instruments. Mortal Instruments is the first series in that world in publication order. There's a different chronological order, but I feel like everyone knows the Mortal Instruments more. Like the average person, it's a more well-known series in that world. But anywho, I kind of explained this in my snow day vlog, but kind of a quick rundown if you don't know what the Shadowhunters world is. Kind of like the MCU in book form. So it's like one world. It is urban fantasy, so it's like set in like this world, but there's like magic in this world, sort of like a Harry Potter sort of thing, you know what I mean? There are different series within that world and they all follow different characters, but the characters like kind of cross over and like come in the books and weave in and out. So it's like there is a certain like reading order, kind of like there's a watch order in the MCU, like for the best experience. I have not followed this order, and as a result I have spoiled some things for myself about different series within this world, but I don't really mind personally. But anywho, so I finished that book. I was buddy reading it with my sister. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, but I'm not surprised. I love Cassandra Clare. She's like my favorite author. That's the author that got me into reading, like the author that like made me want to write. Like she's like my fave, and I just love that world. So kind of any Cassandra Clare book is like almost an automatic 5-star for me. So I gave it a 5 stars, not surprising. I don't want to spoil anything for it, but basically there are Shadowhunters, which are like half human, half angel. They hunt monsters. They have like runes, which are like tattoos. They give them like little powers, and it's just about them and they're like escapades. And there's like different shadow hunting families, and there's like it's called the Clave, and it's almost like the government. So that's kind of like the premise of the whole world. And this one follows the Blackthorn family, and it takes place after the Mortal Instruments series. So it's really fun because it reminds me of like watching things in the MCU after the blip, because it's like you see how the war that happened in the Mortal Instruments affected like different people and different families, and kind of like you see like the governmental like fallout from that, like the different laws that are in place like because of the war, but then you also see like the people that were affected. And I think it's very cool, especially having read the other series, to like see where that world has come since then. But so I really loved it. I really enjoyed all the characters. Again, I kind of already said this already in my snow day vlog, but I met the characters in the Mortal Instruments series because they come in. It's either like the second to last book or the last book, I forget when they come in at first, so definitely in the last book though. So you meet them when they're younger, so it was like I already knew these characters and I knew I was gonna like them. And I remember when this book came out, I was like super excited to follow these characters and see where it went. A little embarrassing because I think this book came out in like 2016, and I literally think I like pre-ordered it, and I've had it on my shelf for like 8 years. It's like embarrassing, and like didn't read it, and I finally read it, which I'm really excited because I've been wanting to just like catch up on my Cassandra Clare backlog. But so I ordered the second and the third one to complete that trilogy. They're gonna be here today. I'm gonna start the second one as soon as I get it. But I really love the characters. Like I love Emma, I love Julian, I love Mark. They're just like super fun. I don't want to spoil it for people because this is like such a... It's been out for a while, but I'm very sensitive to spoilers, especially with this series, because I feel like a lot of people read it in a different order, so I don't really know. Like, you could have not read this one. I don't know. But I really loved it. I love the family dynamics in this, and I love how it's more focused on like the fairy like side. So basically like the supernatural creatures are called the Downworlders. And the first book had the Downworlders in it, but it was very much focused on like the Shadow Hunters. But this book is like still focused on the Shadow Hunters, but there's a lot more like stuff about the fairies and like their politics and like their customs and how they affect people and all this stuff. So I thought that was really fun, like learning about that. You got to learn about more like shadow hunter like legends like within this world, which I always think is really fun. One of my favorite things about this world is that it's like so built out and so filled out. There's like shadow hunters like children's stories within this world. There's like little rhymes. There's like, it's just like, it's a very well fleshed out world. Like, it kind of has everything. There's like legends, there's like family trees with like ancestors that stretch back like all the way to the 1800s. Like it's just a very built out world. So I love when they like throw that in there and teach us like more about things, and about there's always like a reason for everything, and like why like a law exists, or like why people do this now, and there's always like some like backstory about it, which is like why I love this whole world, because usually there's just so many opportunities for like spin-offs and like to really like continue telling the story, and I just feel like Cassandra Clare always takes advantage of that, and I love when things do that. Like that's why I'm such a big fan of like the MCU and like Marvel, because I love when like you take a little string of like a spin-off thing and you like expand on that story. I think it's so fun. But so I gave that 5 stars. I pretty much have been reading up a storm. That was like a 700-page book, and I finished it I think in like 3 or 4 days. Like I really flew through it. Not surprised, but that's what I was doing. I also started and finished The Recruit on Netflix, which is the Noah Centineo. No, I always say his name wrong. He's a guy in To All the Boys I Loved Before, and he randomly replaces J.T. Austin in The Fosters. So you probably know him, but that was also very good. I'm very excited to learn there's going to be a season 2. I feel like Netflix always cancels all the shows that I watch, but this one's going to have a season 2, so I'm very excited. It's basically about this like guy who graduates college and then he gets recruited by the CIA, and he's supposed to be like a lawyer for the CIA, but then he gets kind of like thrown into like the action side of the CIA almost, and it's so fun because it's just this like bumbling 24-year-old just like trying to figure it out and stumble his way through life, and it's so accurate to like how it feels to be thrown into the world after you graduate. Like everything gets messed up. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing, like I'm so overwhelmed. Like I just feel like it's such an accurate representation of how it feels post-grad, like to be in your 20s, but then it has the added like fun of being like an action story like with the CIA and everything. And I really loved the characters. The asset, which this isn't a spoiler, but the asset who he's like, you know, trying to kind of help and like kind of being manipulated and blackmailed by, this is all in the trailer and everything, but her name is Max, and she's like this just badass like Russian girl, and she's so cool. I just like love her. Like, and listen, I know she's psycho and she's like, you know, but she's great and she's such a fun character, and that dynamic is super fun. Like seeing two people who just like shouldn't have anything in common, like, and then they end up having stuff in common. It's just like really fun to see that dynamic and like see like she's kind of like a seasoned veteran in this world of just like lies and deceit and action and murder, and he's just like this innocent little 24-year-old who just gets thrown into this world. And then it's like so funny seeing them like try to navigate it like kind of together. It's really fun. I would recommend it. I know it's renewed for season 2 and I think it's filming right now, but I don't know, I don't think it has a release date, which kind of sucks because it ended on a cliffhanger and I need to know what happens next. I need my questions answered. Please and thank you. Then I also watched Cocaine Bear, which I was so excited for this to come out because I heard about this story about the bear this is a true story, that a bear, there was some drug operation and the person in charge of it like dropped the cocaine in the woods out of the plane or something, and then he like crashed and died or something. I forget exactly the like, this is true though, you can look it up. But then this like black bear stumbled upon the cocaine and accidentally like, can I talk about this on YouTube? I don't know. Then this bear stumbled upon it, accidentally ingested it, and then he just like goes crazy and just like, I don't think he actually killed anyone in the real life thing, but basically he like, sadly he died because he overdosed. But the premise of the movie is that the bear like goes on like a killing spree, and I was so excited for this to come out because it's so outrageous, you know, but it's also like semi-based on like a true story, but just like, you know, fleshed out to be more action-packed. And I was so excited for this to come out because I'm just like, this is so funny that they made a movie about this. Like, so outrageous. This is cinema. Have to see it. I watched it, very much enjoyed it. I gave it like a 6 out of 10 I think on IMDb, because I'm like, listen, it's not gonna win any Oscars or anything, but it's exactly what I expected. It was advertised. I got what was advertised. It was a fun time. I had a good time watching it. So I watched that, which again was also on my list for a while to watch, because I was like, when I saw that they were making this, I was like, I need to watch this. This needs to be something I experience in my life. So I'm still like in my Teen Wolf rewatch. I'm in like season 3B, which like season 3 is definitely the best season, but I don't think anyone really argues about that. People just argue whether it's like 3A or 3B that's better. Oh, and I watched the Sam and Colby and Sternilo triplets collab came out. I did a reaction to that. If you haven't checked it out, you should check it out. Loved that video. You can see my reaction to that, but I was so excited that came out. But yeah, so now today I have to film another video. I think I'm gonna do like me playing Episode for the first time because I've never played that game, but I've seen people play it and it just seems so outrageous, and I just need to know what it's about. I just need to know. And I also like spent a whole night playing the like Too Hot to Handle game, and I had so much fun playing that for some reason. Like, I got like addicted to playing that game. Don't know why, just did. So I'm like, maybe I will really get addicted to playing this one too. So I think that's what I'm gonna film and what I'm gonna do. But yeah, and I think that's kind of all my updates. That's pretty much, I've just been like reading and watching a lot of stuff. That's kind of all I've been doing. Especially in the winter months, I feel like I don't really do anything. It's fine. I feel like seasonal depression, I've headed it off a little bit, but it definitely always hits me in February. Because I'm just like sick of the winter and I'm ready for warm weather in spring and to like get outside. Because it's like so cold, so it's like you don't want to go outside, and even when you do, it's like you don't want to spend a lot of time out there. And I feel like whenever I like go a while without like sitting outside and just like enjoying nature, and like it always makes me like sad. So it's like I just want to get outside, and I love sitting outside in the spring and reading on my porch or like on my front lawn. It's just one of my favorite pastimes. So I'm really hoping that it warms up soon so I can get to do that. Should be really nice, because I've been very like stressed out lately for no reason. I just have anxiety. And I feel like that would help. Fresh air always helps, but it's like so freaking cold. I just have no desire to go out there really right now. I've also somehow been sick with a cold. How does that happen when I don't go anywhere? I don't understand. I'm like, maybe because I went outside in the snow the other day, I got sick from the cold? I don't really know. Also, when I get anxiety, I will say this, like every time I get really bad prolonged anxiety, which, okay, so I do have an anxiety like disorder, so I'm always anxious, but when I get really, really bad bouts of prolonged anxiety where like I have trouble sleeping and like eating, and like it's like, there's a difference. If you have anxiety, you probably know what I mean. Whenever I come down from that anxious episode, I do usually get sick. So I think it's a combination of that too, because my anxiety makes my insomnia worse. They both kind of make each other worse. So it's like when I'm really anxious, I also don't usually sleep that much. So I think it's just like a combination of things. But I'm like, this is like outrageous that I have to have a cold right now when I haven't really done anything. It's like when you get sick after like going on a vacation or something, it's like, well, at least I went on a vacation, you know? But I'm like, I just don't get it. I really don't. So that is like literally what I've been doing. I'm just trying to like really take it easy and just like get rid of my, I've had like a stuffy nose this whole year. I'm like trying to get rid of that. Just really like, just get my shit together basically. And that's kind of the goal. And that's kind of the goal of like the time I'm taking off. If you've been watching my channel, you know I'm like taking some time off just to like kind of chill, and it's very hard for me. I'm really not used to that. I've just been like bouncing from thing to thing pretty much since I graduated, but again, like I said, I just don't think that that's gonna be rewarding in the long run. I don't think it's gonna help me figure out where to go from here. Like I just think I'm gonna be aimlessly bouncing from thing to thing and not getting any fulfillment. So I don't think long term in life that's like the smart thing to do, and I finally kind of came to that realization, which is why I'm taking the time off and really just like trying to figure shit out. And I just think it's necessary for me. Most people take this time, either like they take a gap year or like after college, after they graduate, but I didn't take this time because I literally had a job my whole, like a big girl job my whole senior year of college, and then worked there for like a while after, and then went to Disney, and then jumped to Barnes & Noble. So I never really just like sat down and thought. So that's what I'm doing. So, okay, but that's kind of my update. I don't think I really have any other updates. I mostly want to talk about the book and what I was watching. So if anyone has watched The Recruit, let me know, because I feel like I'm the only one who's watched it. So not true. Definitely a lot more people have watched it, but I've been telling my whole family to watch it because I'm like, guys, this is good, I promise. But yeah, so okay, I'm going to go get on with filming my video that's going up tomorrow. I'm a last minute girly. I like to do everything the day before. I don't know why. I think it adds a little element of danger to my life. I'm weird. I work better under pressure. So I'm gonna go do that, and I will catch up with you guys at some point later. All right.